Hey there, Internet friends. Trevor Starkey here with another episode of TV Thursdays. After going over Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s latest season last week, I wanted to take this week to go over The Flash's latest season, which wrapped up a couple days ago. Now, unlike Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I think The Flash had a little bit of a weaker season overall than certainly the first season, probably even last season. But the last few episodes did a really good job of redeeming it. I thought the season as a whole kind of trudged along a little bit. We didn't get as good of a balance between the villain of the week and the kind of overarching story of the season. But they did a pretty good job in the last few weeks really kind of tying the whole season together and really calling back to stuff from even like the beginning of the season. Spoilers ahead for the end of Season 3. One of the themes I thought really worked nicely this season was playing with Barry's guilt over kind of all of the things his selfishness in going back and creating Flashpoint caused. From little things like changing John and Lila Diggle's daughter to a son, to bigger things like activating the powers in Wally and Caitlin. His little act of selfishness really had a ripple effect throughout kind of the Arrowverse. And for the most part, I felt like that was actually kind of overshadowed by all of the stuff about trying to fight the prophecy of Iris's death. The flash forward to the future did give a little bit of those kind of monster of the week moments where we knew kind of some of the goalposts that we were going to be hitting throughout the season, but overall I thought there was so much more attention put into trying to thwart Savitar's plans, and we didn't really get to know enough about Savitar's plans until kind of really the last few episodes of the season. Even the reveal of Savitar as a Barry time remnant came so late in the season that we didn't get a chance to explore more in depth kind of the motivations behind it, and it felt very, if you missed a couple lines of dialogue, you'd have no idea what was going on. That said, I think the big takeaway from kind of the end of the season is that Barry is who Barry is because of his friends. And while I think Wally got a little bit kind of pushed to the side for the later half of the season, everybody else really got some strong moments to shine, especially in the finale. The finale especially gives a great moment to HR, who for the most part throughout the season felt probably like the weakest iteration of Wells just because he didn't feel like he belonged on the team. He was just kind of the odd man out when everyone else around Barry is a superhero or basically family. But he gets redemption and strength in those final moments by taking Iris's place and using his little cloaking device. Iris also finally gets a great moment where she gets to save the day at the end in a very weird psychological moment where she shoots one Barry to save her Barry. I'm curious to see if they'll revisit the weird toll that might take on her. In a way similar to we saw how John killing his brother kind of stuck with him for a little while on the Arrow side of things, especially with going into the next season, Barry kind of trapped in the Speed Force. I wonder if she'll experience some kind of PTSD based on the fact that she killed essentially her soulmate, or a version of her soulmate. I thought Tom Felton was a great addition to the team this year as Julian. It took me a little while to warm up to him. I didn't like the first half of the season where he was a main antagonist for Barry and the team, but I think once he got brought into the fold near the mid-season hiatus and joined Team Flash, I thought he had a lot of great moments going on from there, and the relationship that started to form between him and Caitlin helped keep Caitlin grounded and humanized as she started heading down the path towards Killer Frost, and I really appreciated the different layers they played with there. I'd be remiss to not mention one of the standout episodes, the crossover musical number with Supergirl. I appreciate it as somebody who did stick with Glee at least through part of the second season and remembered Grant Gustin and Darren Criss from that, and as somebody who's been a fan of Star Kid Productions and Darren Criss in particular from when they first launched their Harry Potter musical on YouTube, it was great getting to see him kind of step into that role. I thought it was kind of the epitome of one of those one-off Monster of the Week episodes, and I thought it was maybe tied up a little too cleanly, but it was a lot of fun. It was great seeing kind of all that musical talent up on the screen. I thought the musical numbers in it didn't wow me, but it was still a fun episode. So yeah, back to the themes of the season. I appreciated that the season ended with Barry realizing he had to take responsibility for his actions and take his turn in the hellish prison of the Speed Force, because he did affect everybody else. I'll definitely be interested to see where the show goes next season. I'll be curious as to how long Grant Gustin is kind of kept in the Speed Force and how long Wally is the number one Flash in town. Curious to see what they do with Caitlin and if they bring her back into the fold at some point. I'm even curious to see if Cisco and Gypsy will continue their will they won't they star-crossed vibers across multiple Earths. So yeah, let me know what you thought about this season of Flash in the comments below. As always, I've been your host, Trevor Starkey from TrevorTrove.com. You can follow me at SnarkyStarkey on Twitter. And until next time, from here at the Trove, treasure your friends, like Barry does.